Hey guys, I'm back with the next part of our grocery app using .NET MAUI, this e-commerce app. So in this part, we'll continue from where we left in our previous part. And in previous part, we were working on product section. So we worked mostly on the backend in the previous part. So we worked on seeding the product data, fetching data, creating endpoints for fetching the popular products, and incorporate those popular products in our product service and homepage view model so that we can use it in our in our mobile app, basically on the homepage. So we are going to work on the UI for that in this part. And before continuing on this part, I would recommend you all to check out all the previous parts. So I'm going to drop the links of all those parts in the description box. So please do check those out. And let's continue. And before continuing, uh, I have, so if you can see my screen, watch time from subscribers, not subscribed, and subscribed. So you guys, if you guys like my videos, like my content, I try to make unique content. Actually, you'll get complete full stack apps from scratch to the end on my channel. So, and you're still not subscribing, 71% people are watching my videos who are not subscribed my channel. So I would request you all to please subscribe my channel. It will actually encourage me and it will keep me motivated so that I can continue making these kind of videos. So please subscribe my channel and don't forget to press that bell icon. Okay, so we have popular products fetched, and now we'll work on UI. So first let's run the app so that we can see the UI directly. Using hot reload, we'll design UI while we're looking how it is look. Let's open the home page. Let me close everything, or maybe this is our home page, so leave it open. Close all but pinned, then we'll close these as well. Close, fine. So we are on home page right now, and in here, label, fetching data. Okay, this is our loader, and here we have this popular uh, heading. After that, we don't have anything. Here we will have our products. So for this, what approach we are going to take? We'll use two column flex layout. Okay, and from this flex layout we need to have the dynamic content for this. So for that we'll use bindable layout, and you could have used collection view as well, but I'm using flex layout to show that two column layout basically. So binding layout dot item source, this item source is going to be our binding and then popular products. If we save it, we can see something. This is not scrollable, that is expected. Okay, in this flex layout, next thing we need to provide the uh, data for this basically. So the template. So bindable layout dot item template, and this will have data template, and the type of this data template is going to be our product DTO, and that will come from DTO namespace which we have not added. Let's add that. So we'll say XMLNS DTO, and it should be our product DTO. Product DTO, we are not getting it, so let's use this CLR namespace. Sometimes it's very hard. Okay, let's do this. CLR namespace fruit veg basket dot shared, something like this, but instead of enumerations we'll use our DTO. DTUs, right? It was DTUs. Okay. Now let's go to, let me collapse these, this one, this collection view, and we are here. Fine. So it will be our product DTU, this one. Fine. For now, let's have a label only. Label where we'll have the text, label, text, and we'll get it from this product DTU, and we will have name. If we say this, we can see the names, cabbage, beetroot, and all these names are in the same line. For now, let's add a wrapper for this. Let's have a border with some padding, let's say 25, and a background color, just to see the how much space these items are taking. So let's say red color and have it here, so we can see this now, right? So the way we want it to behave, we first thing, let's wrap it to the next line. For that, on flex layout we have this wrap property, so we can wrap it. Now we wrapped it and we are not able to scroll it to the top because our main container is not scrollable. Fine, so what we'll do, we'll remove this, we'll simply add a scroll view on top of this grid view. Save it, and now we can scroll it. Now if you see, we have 3 items in first row, 2 items in second row, 1 item in third row. That is not what we want. We want it to 2 column layout only. So we need only 2 items in a single row. So for that, what we are going to do, where is the flex layout? Yeah, before that, let's have the same spacing between these. So let's say space between, or let's say space evenly. Fine. After this, we need 2 items in a row. For that, flex layout gives us something that is called flex layout dot basis. And here we can have auto, we can have some constant property, constant value, or we can have a relative percentage value. We save it, flex layout dot basis, so not on this one, we should have it on the item. This item actually tells relative to the its parent, which is a flex layout, that this item should uh, take 50% of the space. That is what it means. So we have now 2 column layout, and that is what we want. Right now we'll design it. Save it. Fine. Wrap. Move it to the next. Fine, let's add some designing for this. So the design we are going to have, first we'll have an image, then we'll have the name of the product, unit of the product, then we'll have price and add to cart button. So for that, let's start. First thing, we need a border as a parent, so that is fine. After that, inside this border, we'll have a grid. And in this grid, let's define our row definitions. Okay, so first one is for our image. So the image height we took in this category images, that was 175. So we'll use the same height. This is for first one. After that, let's have auto, auto, and auto. This is for all other 3 rows, right, with single column. Now we can see these slightly bigger. Cool. Now in this grid, first we need an image on row 0. Let's say horizontal option center, vertical options again center. Right now we don't have that image, so we will not use that. The only thing is we'll use height request, which is same as parent, that is 175. After this, we'll have a label for the next row, grid.row1, and the text we are going to have binding name, and this will be our name of the product, which we can see now. Alright, now let's design this. First thing, vertically we need it in center, horizontal this is fine, it is in start, but let's have it same as horizontal options as start. So this is the default, so we can remove this, or let's have it to be explicit. Fine, then let's have this product name as bold, and then font size slightly bigger, let's say 16. Okay, okay, we can see the product name now. Have some light background colors for this. Let me check this color and some lighter color in this one. Okay, let's use this color, and we'll use this color here. Okay, fine, let's remove this padding, this 25 padding, or this is a lot, right? So let's have it 5, or let's say 10. Fine, and then let's have some margin as well, margin of 2. Okay, okay, this looks fine. Next thing, save everything. After this we'll work on the next row where we are going to have our unit. For that, let's have label. So this will be grid dot row 2, and the text is going to be binding unit, and we'll have slightly smaller font, so font size let's say 12. And now we can see cabbage per pound, beets per pound, per dozen, per container, per print, per pint. What is this pint? I don't know. Okay, okay, after this we want the price. For that, so in that we have row 1 2 3, and we are using 4 row layout. So in the fourth row, what we are going to do, in the 50% of the screen initially we'll have our price, and then in the second section we'll have add to cart button. Cool, so for this what we'll do, we'll have a grid with column definition, but before that, grid dot row 3, and then we'll have column definitions for this, which will be let's say star and 2 star. So not 50%, so it will take 33% and it will take 66%, something like this, because the buttons, it will take more space. Fine, in here now we'll have first a label for price, so which will be grid dot column 0, and the text is going to be binding price. If we save it, we should see this. This is the price. Let's format this price. So we'll say string format. For now, I'm using this hard coded format, you could say. So this. Now save it. What is the issue? Binding. This is missing. Yeah, we can see this now. This is fine. After this, we need to have this actual the main part, that button. So for that, let's have a button here with grade.column1. Okay, and the text is going to be, let's say, add. Save it. Let's see how it looks. Fine. Add. We have this add button. Now we'll design this button. But before that, let's design another button as well. So when we add, what I want, when we click on add for the first time, it will add one item to the cart. Then we should have ability to remove that item from cart or increase the quantity of that item. So for that, let's copy this, comment this. So we'll have, and we should show the quantity. So 1 2 3 4 5, whatever item quantity we are adding to the cart, that also we should show. So for that, we'll have two different layouts here. So let's say three items, basically one button to reduce the quantity, then a label to show the quantity, and then third item we are going to have the increase quantity. So we will have three items basically. So for that, let's have a grid with three columns. Column definitions, we will have star, 2 star, or star, or maybe let's have these same auto, auto, and auto, whatever screen space they can take. Okay, fine. Now in this definition, let's first add a button, which we already have something like this. This will be column 0 and the text will be minus. So remove item, decrease the quantity. Then we'll have the column 2 with plus, and in between we'll have a label with the text as the quantity, and that quantity we can get from our binding cart quantity, and this will be grade.column1. Grade.column1. So right now we have 0. So fine. Now let's design these so that these look nice. Grid.column0, and this second grid, it should have grid.column1. Cool. So first we need to make these buttons smaller. So I think this style, this is coming from global styles. So if we go to resources, styles.xaml, we should see these here. So button, and we can see corner radius 8, padding 14 and 10, then minimum height and minimum width 44, 44. So these three things are making these buttons like this, right? So we'll override these styles for our buttons, and let's add resources for these buttons. So first let's add the style directly, then we'll add the styles in the resources. So we'll say style, static resource, let's say cart btn. Copy this and add this to the second button as well. Cart btn button. Let's go to the top where we have our resources, resource dictionary, our styles, and here we'll add another style with target type as button, and x dot key is going to be the key we just added, and here we'll add couple of properties. So first thing, setter property. So let's say padding, value something. And then we have the second thing, which is uh, padding, and let's say height 25. Let's see what else we can do. We can, no, not in this. Copy it couple of times. Then we'll say font attributes. We need the text to be bold. Save. Then let's increase the font size as well. So font size, this we need, let's say 20. And then height, instead of 25, let's make it 30. Height request 30. And then width request, let's make it 35. Okay, font size this, and padding is 5. Let's say padding 0. Okay, now we can see something. Oh, let's add margin 0 as well. We don't need any margin. Okay, okay, width request, height request, move it below, remove this. Fine. We can see minus, we can see plus, and everything looks fine now. Next thing is, let's move these to center, right? So we'll say vertical options, center, and horizontal options again center. Cool. Now let's design the main container over these buttons so that these three things looks part of a single group, right? So for that, let's go to the place where we are adding our flex layout, border, and this thing. We'll have a border around it, so we'll say border. Let's move this grid inside this border. Fine. And this grid dot column 1, this should be on this border. Fine. Now on this grid, let's change it to star, the center column, auto, auto, and then star. And on this border, let's have the stroke shape as the stroke shape. We'll be having rectangle only, right? Or let's have round rectangle. Round rectangle 4. Okay, and we don't need the thickness, stroke thickness 0. Fine. Increase this 5, 6. Okay, so that it does not show out of this. Fine. Stroke shape round rectangle 6, thickness 0. And now let's add the stroke color as our static resource, a primary, or let's say mid color. Okay. Oh, because we are using stroke thickness as 0. Let's have it 1. We can see this 1. And we need it same as the button. So this is the primary color, right? Button is using the primary color. Primary, right? Buttons, background color is this. Primary. So let's have it primary. Fine. We have these buttons now. Then this text, this label inside this. So this should be in middle of the screen, in the center. Okay. So for this, On this label, we'll have vertical options at center and horizontal options at center. Cool. This is in the middle of the screen now. I think this looks fine. Okay, this dollar sign, this price, this should also be centered in the this vertically centered. So on this label, let's say vertical option at center. Cool. Fine, this looks nice. We can plus, we can minus. Right now we can see only this layout. Let's see the that add button. For that we had this add button, right? So let's do this, hide this border, this one, let's say page visible false for now. Fine, and we have this add button. This is nice, but this is taking too much space, right? Because of the default height width margin padding. So why not use this, the same style, subset of the same style? But let's see how this same, okay, height and width is going to break. So for that, what we'll do, we'll have a subset of these styles. So card button, we'll say add to card button. And here padding, margin, font attributes is fine. Font size we don't need. Height and width we don't need. Right? And let's use this add to cart button. Let's see how it looks. On this, where is it? Add this button. So let's have this style, static resource, this add to cart button. And this is very bad. Why so? We are on add to cart. Let's remove font size as well. Margin padding 0 and height and width, right? So let's set the height, not width. Height is 30. Okay, now it is fine. I think then we can remove padding as well. So let it add the default padding, but then it is going to break. So we'll add a padding, or maybe let's add a width, which looks nice in our case, width request. So let's have it 60, how it looks. Okay, 60 is fine. Cool. So we have this add button, which is add to cart, the first button. Then we'll have that second button. For this, let's do one thing. Right now we don't have that logic in place, but instead what we can do, we'll derive this thing on the basis of this cart quantity. Alright, so what we can do on this cart quantity, we have this section. Where is it? First label 0, string price, button and border. Yeah, these two sections. Either this button will be displayed or this border will be displayed. So what we can do, we can use property triggers, data template triggers to display these things. What we'll do, on here we'll add button dot triggers. We'll say data trigger. The target type is going to be this button. The property binding for this is going to be binding cart quantity, and the value, if the value is 0. If the value is 0, then we should show this button. So we'll say setter property is visible and the value is going to be true. So we'll display this, and we are displaying this when this is 0. So we should hide it by default. So is visible, false. And we'll do the opposite of this for this border. So let me copy this thing, button dot triggers, and we'll change this button to border. So border dot triggers, and this data trigger, the target type is going to be border cart quantity. And in this case, if we have cart item 0 for this, we will not show this. So in this case it should be false, and the default is visible should be true. We can omit this because this is the default behavior, but we can have it for explicitly. So this is true, this is, if value is 0 this should be true, and if value is false then it should be. Okay, let's stop it. We are making so many changes uh, in the layout. Next thing, for now it will show only the same result because we have this cart quantity same 0 for everything. So to check it, let's do one thing. We can do let's go to our product DTO, which will be in where, in our shared DTOs, product DTO. We have this cart quantity. For now let's comment this out, observable property. Instead what we'll do, we'll have a full property int cart quantity, and we'll do random dot share dot next item, and in this we'll have min value should be 0 so that we can have 0 at least once or twice, and the max value exclusive, let's have 3. So it will be from 0 to 2, some random number between 0 to 2. Cart quantity, okay, the spelling is not right, so let's fix this. Quantity, quantity, QUAN quantity. Fine, and we'll use this thing only on this homepage.xaml. So we'll use this cart quantity, and we are using this cart quantity somewhere else as well, right? Yeah, here, cart quantity. Fine, let's run this. Run. Okay, now yeah, we can see the things. So this is, we got 2 items in the cart for this product, then we don't have any items for this, so this shows that add button, and if we rerun the app it should display something else because we are using random for this cart quantity. Let's see this time how it looks. Okay, and we did not get anything. That means, what does this mean? Did random did not provide 0 1 0 0. Okay, something's not right. Stop and run. And again something is not right. If this is 0, the value is 0, button the triggers, if value is 0 we should show this button which we showed in the first place, right? Okay, let me stop and clean it, or maybe let's do one thing. Let's display uh, this cart quantity somewhere, maybe after this name or before this name. Let's add one more label and auto, and then we'll have this label which will say grid.row 0. Oh, it's not going to work. We need to change all. So instead, let's do one thing. Let's have it at the end. So remove this auto and let's add one more at the end, auto, which will be our row 4. So we'll have this label with row 4, and instead of name we'll have card 20, 0 2 1 1 2 1. For 2 we should have that. Okay, so this might be because of we are not using the observable property for that. That's why it is not able to give us randomized value. Maybe let's try if we can do this directly here. Can we have get only properties with observable? I don't know. No, it should be a field only. Card quantity random dot shared next 0. Card quantity copy and this. Let's stop and run. And we have it. Okay, that was the issue. Because we are not using observable directly, that's why it was not. So this time we have one item, two item, two, and here we don't have any items. It shows this add button. Fine. So this looks nice. Next thing we are going to do, let's extract this out, this product list, product section. We should extract this section out from here to a separate control. The reason is when we'll work on this categories page and when we click on these category shop by category buttons, what it should do, it should open a new page with all the products related to that category only, and there also we will need to have product list, all these product details and these add to cart buttons. So instead of repeating these again and again, let's create a custom reusable control so that we can use that in here in popular section as well as in the categories pages as well. Okay, so that we'll do in the next part, and after that we'll work on these increasing and decreasing these values and showing the cart items. All these we'll start working on in the next part. So that's all for this video. Please like this video. If you like my content, share this video, subscribe my channel, and don't forget to press that bell icon so that you never miss any update whenever I upload any new video. Okay, and here let me remove this, or let's have it like this only. We'll fix this in the next video when we'll work on these things. But let me remove this 1 2 3, this part. So this fourth label, remove this and remove this thing. Fine. Okay, bye bye.